Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, I'm going to start answering your questions for the 2017 Q&A series. Like last year, I told you guys, if you have questions, go ahead and post them in that one video. Link is right there, and I'll answer them. I'll go through, you guys can get to know me a little bit better. I'll get to know you guys through your questions, which are sometimes pretty weird, and I'll answer the ones I can. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start at the bottom of the list because those are the first ones that came in, and I'll work my way up. So far, I think there's like 250 of them, something like that. I'm sure some will duplicate, so it won't take that long to go through them, hopefully, but we'll see. And if I don't get to yours right away, have a little bit of patience. And if you have a question that I haven't answered yet, please watch the video before asking another question. Go to that video and post your question there. Don't post it in this video. This video, I'm not going to look at it for questions when I go forward. I'm going to keep going back to that main one, okay? This video, if you want to talk about anything I've said, that's what this comment section's for, okay? So conversation here, questions go in that video, the original video, okay? Okay, let's get started. Now, I may screw up some usernames. I'll do my best, and I try not to make fun of anybody, but I might. We'll see. First question, pretty straightforward, comes from Test123. That's his name. Not too bad. I like that name. It's okay. His question is, or her, I guess, are you married? No, I'm not. I'm currently single, which is the exact opposite of married. Lethal Weed asks, I guess he doesn't, well, no, doesn't ask. He says, hey, I'm first, yay, I want to ask you questions. You missed the point. That was your chance. Sorry, you didn't ask any questions. Peyton Toby asks, what is your favorite action figure brand? That's a tough one. I think I would have to go with SH Figure Arts just because they cover the broadest range of things. We have American IPs and Japanese IPs. We have some larger figures, some smaller ones. They have a pretty nice variety, so I think I'd have to go with that, but I really am a fan of NECA. There obviously is a quality control issue sometimes, but they do make some really great things at a really great price, and they have a fairly broad coverage also, so I do like NECA. And then I would be remiss to not mention Storm Collectibles. They're just starting out, obviously. We just have Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Ryu, but those are fantastic figures. So they are definitely headed in the right direction to being my favorite. We'll see how that goes, but so far very happy with that. Good question. Also, some of these questions may be things I've talked about before, but that was a long time ago and a lot of you didn't exist then. Not in that you weren't born, but that you weren't subscribers. So now I might be answering it for new audience members. Lethal Weed finally got to asking a question. It looks like it says, are you going to make live streams on like a Marvel game like Batman Arkham Knight? Oh boy, Lethal Weed. I'm assuming you're referencing marijuana in your username. I'm thinking you should probably lay off. The Great Shabazz wants to know what my day job is. This and customizing. It's one day job, split into two individual jobs. The videos on YouTube and the customizing is what I do, or what I do. Don't make a lot of money if you're wondering. It's not like I'm living in a mansion or anything like that, but it's what I do. It's enough to get by, and it's what I like to do. Roberto Rojas asks, will you do a tutorial on how to make a custom figure? No, I will not. But what I do have is Patreon, where if you are a patron or a contributor, however you want to word it, I do explain how I make every figure that I make. They get to see all kinds of behind the scenes stuff, so if you want to participate in that, you're welcome to, but I can't publicly do tutorials on how I do what I do. That would essentially put me out of business. Well, at least potentially put me out of business. You don't see Olive Garden or McDonald's putting out their recipes. Same type of situation. Gotta keep some trade secrets. Let's put it that way. Flawless Cowboy asks, now this question's probably not that relevant anymore, but I'll answer it anyway. What do you think of the leaked Halo Mega Bloks or Halo Constructs game? Well, it looks kind of cool. I'm not the biggest fan of the whole let's turn it into a movie or a video game of these construction toy things. I do like Halo, so I could see that, and I want Halo to do well, so it'd be cool to have like a kids game to draw in a new audience, but the original Halo drew in its audience by being Halo, the Halo. I'm kind of tired of seeing Halo try to branch out to reach this other audience where if they just did what they were supposed to do, that audience would be coming to them. So I'm a little iffy on that kind of thing. I feel like any IP that decides to become something else to create a bigger audience loses what it's supposed to have and then ends up hurting its audience. I mean, let's say, for example, look at these comedians who become famous for being a comedian, and then they start telling jokes that aren't like their normal jokes, and then everybody hates them, like Dane Cook, for instance. Not that Halo is Dane Cook, or even Call of Duty, but all of these different IPs, Halo and Call of Duty are good examples, who try to be what they aren't, end up being less than they were originally. Stick to what you're good at, do what you're supposed to do, and you'll be fine. So that's a really long way of saying I don't care about a Halo Constructs game, I want a Halo game. True, actual Halo. Mikey's Action Figures asks, and this may be kind of controversial, we'll see. We'll see what you guys think of my answer. I don't think it's controversial at all. Is there another figure reviewer or customizer on YouTube that you watch and recommend? No, there isn't. And that's because I don't watch any. I do what I do, okay? And I do it the way I can best for my audience. I don't watch other people's reviews because I don't really want any part of the whole political thing. Not politics as in our government, politics as in he said this, she said that, this whole like click thing. I don't want anything to do with any of that. All that social stuff, I don't need it. I'm here for you guys. I'm going to do what I'm going to do for you guys. I don't watch other people's reviews because I'm reviewing things that doesn't do me any good. And I don't have anything to do with it. I don't mind staying isolated. Sure, it's probably hurt the channel. I mean, you see other people who have humongous channels and they're doing things together and whatever. That's fine. Everybody can do what they want to do. That's cool. It's just not for me. I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna do it for you guys. And people that like that will come. And if they don't like it, then they don't have to watch. So that's how it works. So yeah, long answer, short question. Hopefully that answers your question. I actually don't watch much YouTube in general. I just don't have that much time. Neo Arcada asks, what is your biggest regret in life? That's a good question. That would be going to an expensive college. Not that I regret having an education. I regret paying out the wazoo for an education that ended up not being worth much. I mean, I could have gotten the same education in hindsight now from a cheaper school, and since I'm not working in that field anyway, it really doesn't matter. So I could have spent a whole lot less, wasted a whole lot less money, and still been in the same situation I'm in right now, which is working for myself, making not much money, where technically the college degree doesn't matter. I'd still have gotten a degree, just not an extremely expensive one that I had to pay out the wazoo for. That's really, stay in school, kids. I'm not giving you advice to not go to college or to not do school stuff. Just be aware of the job market, I guess. I mean, I was, and it still didn't pan out, so whatever. Didn't work out. Edward Pashke? Probably messed up your name. Sorry about that. How did you start reviewing? I just started by making customs, and then people on the old Spawn message boards, McFarlane's website, they said, hey, you should show your customs on YouTube. So I'm like, all right, I'll do that. I made some slideshows of photos of my customs, and that was all right. Some people started looking at the videos. Then somebody else said, I think it was my buddy who did reviews at the time, he was like, you own more figures than most people. You know, obviously a ton about figures. Why don't you start doing reviews too? People would like that. So I did, and it worked out, and now I'm here. That's it. Timothy Wang asks, any new anime you've seen that you may or may not have enjoyed? Well, I watched Black Lagoon. That's not new, but it was new to me. I really enjoyed Black Lagoon. That's one for the older crowd. Definitely not a kid's show. That was a really cool show. I liked that. Which ones haven't I enjoyed? I kind of get an idea of what the shows are about before I watch them, so there's not many I watch that I don't like. I still haven't been able to get into Cowboy Bebop, and I know all you anime fans out there are like, what? That's blasphemy. I'm going to watch it eventually, but I watched the first episode, and it didn't tickle me, so I didn't keep watching it. I didn't dislike it, but I just haven't gotten into it. The only anime that I really don't like that I wanted to try was Naruto. If you guys haven't been able to figure that out through my reviews, I'm not a Naruto fan. Anthony Songko. Are you planning on going to SDCC this year? I would love to. I don't know if finances are going to pan out. It all depends on how the hotel raffle goes, and if I get a hotel that's close enough to make it doable without renting a car, without taking the tram or train or bus or whatever it is. It's just Comic-Con's a huge pain in the butt if you have to use the public transportation, and it's not worth the expense to me to do that, unfortunately. It just costs so much to fly out there and to pay for a hotel and everything like that. If I'm not going to be able to have a really nice experience there, if I'm going to go and it's going to be a pain in the ass the whole time, I'm just not going to pay to do it because it's not worth it. I don't know if you guys have been there, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Comic-Con on the best situation is only about half fun because it's so commercial and a pain in the ass nowadays. So it's just not worth that half fun if it's going to be even less than that right off the bat. You know what I mean? So I'd love to go. I hope everything works out. I'd love to cover stuff for you guys, but I don't know if finances and circumstances are going to allow it, much like last year. We'll see. Ricardo Vega. Are you going to review the new Super 7's Masters of the Universe line? I'm not. It turns out that that's actually just the old DC Matty Collector stuff. Not DC, just Matty Collector stuff that they sold off, I guess. But no, I'm not into Motu at all. And I'm not into buying the stuff. And I have to buy like almost everything I review. It's like 99.9% of the stuff I review I have to pay for. So I can't just grab extra things to review. Sorry. John Martin wants me to do a lyric analysis on Wayward Son. I don't know if I could do that, but I really do like that song. I don't think anybody would care for a video about that, but that's my favorite song, so hopefully you knew that, and that's why you asked, and not just coincidence. We have time for one more question. This will be the last question for this video from Alan Fung. What is the most time-consuming part of customizing? Definitely the sculpting. The sculpting, if you're using the Aves Fixit or epoxy sculpt, it takes forever, not just because you have to let it cure. I mean, I'm not counting the curing time, but you can't layer things, at least I can't. I don't have the sculpting ability to just do everything all at once without mushing it and stuff like that. So I have to sculpt a part and then let it cure so that I don't ruin it, what I just sculpted. And then I do another part, and it can take forever when you have to use a lot of that kind of sculpt. Even when I'm doing the kind of sculpts where I bake them, like with the Super Sculpey, where I get a lot of sculpting done, I usually do more organic stuff with the Sculpey, and then I can bake it in 15 minutes and then keep working, that kind of thing. It can still take a while. Sculpting is, for me, it's time consuming mostly because I'm never happy with what I'm working on. I always want to tweak it. So at some point I just say, okay, it's good enough, I'm going to cook it. And I can't modify it really anymore without doing major work. So it takes forever. Maybe for other people it's not that bad, but for me it can be very time consuming. So good question. All right, guys, thanks for all the questions. Hopefully you enjoyed the answers. This one was pretty straightforward. Maybe we'll get into some more deep stuff in the next video. I don't know. We'll see. Stick around for that. If you have any more questions, again, put them in that link that's up there. If it's not still up there, I don't know how long those things last. It'll be down in the description also. If you want to discuss anything, put that in this comment section. And then lastly, make sure to subscribe because I do have new videos up every single day. We talk about all kinds of fun stuff, so come back for that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.